Hello, this is Chuck Salvo with Avadio. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 reasons to start using Microsoft Teams. Reason number 1, Teams delivers you the ultimate collaboration and productivity tool. In the past, you might have used tools like Skype, SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, GoToMeeting, WebEx, all these different tools to help you collaborate with other users, to help author documents maybe, to have whiteboard sessions, to have video chat. But the biggest problem is that each one of these is a silo of data. Microsoft Teams helps get past that silo of data by creating an application that for you is a single plane for you to go in and collaborate. So with that, let's take a look at Microsoft Teams. So starting on the left-hand side, what do we have? First one is activity. The activity is a way of you being notified about your users and collaborators mentioning you potentially inside of a work product, maybe making a telephone call to you, reacting to messages that you've sent. Next up is chat. So this really is a replacement here for your Skype, your instant messenger. Maybe in the past you used AOL as instant messenger, or Yahoo Messenger, or any of these other instant messaging products. Again, Teams with this single application has this kind of capability. And it's a great tool to use. A lot of functionality as far as things like, all right, I want to send a GIF, or I want to send some images, I want to do attachments, all from one spot. Next up is Teams. This is really the heart and soul of the Teams application. With that, you have a notion of a team over here. And inside of a team, you have channels. So different areas for you to do storage and data and applications. We'll delve into that a little bit more. Next up, we have calendaring. And this is all being surfaced right from Microsoft Outlook. So again, looking at it, one tool is bringing in all this functionality. Next up, we have calls. The ability to make voice calls, to make video calls, all through one tool. Next up, we have files. Over here, these are all the files you've been working on. Things that you've worked on recently, things that are stored inside of Microsoft Teams, things that are in OneDrive. Again, all in one single spot for you. Lastly, you have Flow. And Flow is just part of Microsoft Office. You'll see over here you also have some other options, and there are other apps that you can add. So pushing the Teams theory a little bit further, Teams is an application platform, again, predicated around collaboration and productivity. Reason number 2, Teams provides a single pane of glass for your everyday workday management. How does that do that? Let's talk about the Teams architecture. What's actually powering Microsoft Teams to give you a better idea of how it can be that single pane of glass. So looking at the user in the middle here, you'll see things like SharePoint, OneDrive, Office 365 groups, as well as other pieces of Teams that are, again, leveraging pieces of Azure, leveraging pieces of Office 365. For instance, channels and tabs. There's a reply chain, messages, voicemail, apps, meetings, all these different pieces. So your meetings are coming out of Office 365 Outlook, right? Your calling and voicemail is part of Skype, or what was Skype, which is now included inside of Teams. So again, all these different things are designed around creating this notion of this single pane of glass for you to work in, a single productive and collaborative area for you to work with your fellow workers. So let's take a look at Microsoft Teams a little bit further. So coming inside here, I'm in a conversation, and this is the marketing team. I'm in the general channel. You'll see over here, this is conversations. So the entire team sees conversations. It's almost like a stream, right? So here we actually have Google Analytics data that's coming into our conversation. This is a connector. And again, so I don't have to go out to Google Analytics to get the data. I'm bringing the data into my team, into my single pane of glass. Further down, I've used the Praise app to heap some praise on Julie. She's done a great job. And Julie says, thanks, Chuck. Right? And I can see her status. Further down as I go through the tabs. So again, tabs make up the channel. So inside this tab, I have files. And what's happening is this is really surfacing data from Microsoft SharePoint. Next up is another tab called Wiki. This is all out-of-the-box functionality. The Wiki is a place for me to go in and just add information. Right? Again, my entire team has access to this. They see this. They can do what they want with it. They can also collaborate. Further on, I've got marketing tasks. This is actually Planner. You saw the Planner application there. So the team can see what's going on. Over here, I've got this task that integrated Eventbrite into CRM using as functions. I finished that today. So I can check it off, and it's done. Moving further down, we have the marketing notebook. right? So again, a spot here for us to just put information. Here, it's actually OneNote. So over here, we get some information about BrewTech, one of the events that we're hosting. Further down the line, we have Power BI. And over here, you can see some website traffic. So the goal behind this really is that with one application, Microsoft Teams, and one team and one channel, I have all the things that I need to collaborate with my coworkers. I've got access to the applications, access to the data, access to the files, and the ability to communicate with everyone inside the team. Henceforth, the single pane of glass. Reason number 3, Teams will forever revolutionize how you manage meetings and work with peers. So the goal behind this is, how do you make the meeting experience better? How do you capture notes? How do you invite people? How do you make that experience easier and quicker and more collaborative than the traditional notion of, let's have a meeting invite coming out of Outlook, and then maybe storing some notes, physical notes, or using Notepad, and then sharing meeting notes afterwards and everything else. So looking at Teams, I've got a meeting over here set up, right? So what happens here is that the attendees are a channel, right? So if I actually go to that channel, I'll close this out, I'll go to my Teams, and I'll go to my marketing, sales development, general. So this is again a channel. You'll see there's that meeting. So what happens is if I go into the meeting itself, and I click on join, I can say join now. I'll be the only person in the meeting, that's fine. A couple of things in here, right? I can turn on audio, I can share my desktop, I can record my meeting. I can also do meeting notes, right? So this is a great thing right here, because with meeting notes, I can go in here and capture information. Oops. Spelling is always helpful. Right. So if I'm done with that, I can close that out. And now what happens? Those notes are now associated with the meeting. So if I go in here and I end the meeting, and if you look, now we have this tab up here, meeting notes, right? There it is, demo for Team Collab. So that was the meeting itself. And then our notes, we had a great meeting with the team. So again, collaboration, video, audio, notes, application sharing, desktop sharing, and even whiteboard functionality, all inside of that same tool, Teams.